Now let's have some fun. Here is your host, Johnny Radio.
Yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 happy hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. I got Jay Morgan Harder in the house hanging out with me, and you know we have Jake Crane, who's going to join us from Crane & Company. In about 7-8 minutes, we got, of course, Terry Davis. He's going to come in here and talk a little Tiger basketball. DR action.
Oh, before we start, John, I actually have audio from the big fight this week, the big match. You know, the big boxing match that happened over the weekend.
Jake Paul, Nate Diaz?
Oh, no. This one, John.
Now Hosey and Anderson square off. They're fighting. They're swinging. Down goes Anderson.
No, that fight, John.
That was the baseball story of the weekend.
That was the Guardians radio broadcast, by the way. I don't know the fellow's name.
That was the Guardians radio broadcast. I'm going to break this down with you in just 2 seconds. Because, again, Freddie Freeman, 10-pitch at bat. Nobody's talking about that. MLB Network, Sports Center, all the shows today. Tim Anderson, Jose Ramirez. Do you know somewhere
Legendary.
Robin Ventura is thanking Tim Anderson for that? Because instead of them showing just him all the time,
somewhere Joey Bats is thanking him, John.
Joey Bats is also thanking him. But, man, Ventura getting beat up by then 43-year-old Nolan Ryan was the clip. But I like the Tim Anderson, Jose Ramirez one better.
That was crazy, man.
But you know
he stunned him with that jaw shot.
He did.
You could see his eyes. He's stunned. That's how he fell down.
It was better than the Jake Paul, Nate Diaz fight.
Yeah, Nate Diaz has no idea how to box.
I don't know if you
no
know
idea
this.
how to box.
Jake Paul keeps beating UFC fighters.
But I was talking with Zach, and
he lost to the only professional fighter who's a very bad one in Tommy Fury.
And you know what else, John? It's the only one I didn't watch because the draw for me is watching guys like Nate Diaz because I'll never get to see Nate Diaz again. He was washed up by the time he finished even fighting in the UFC. He was already out of shape. So I buy for the UFC fighter. Anderson Silva, bought because of him. Woodley, bought because of him. Ben Askren, bought because of him. I mean, Jake Paul, I didn't even buy the one against the boxer. So, keep beating Nate Diaz. That's fine by me.
By the way, Drizzy, as they call him,
Drizzy
Champagne Poppy.
He bet on Nate Diaz, didn't he?
He bet $250,000 on Nate Diaz to win $1 million.
But he is sponsored or he has a partnership with the company he bets with.
They can't just keep, giving him all these losses.
Yeah, I think they do.
So he just gets to gamble. When he wins, does he collect, or is it just
I think he bets himself too, but that is great publicity. Think about all the idiots that are betting with Drake just because he bet that.
You really think there's a lot of people that bet on something because Drake bet on it?
John, you underestimate the amount of stupid people out there.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, does
that mean that's a really cynical view of life? I don't mean to be that cynical.
It is not. It's more of I would say, a realist view of life. But I'm a the glass is half full, man.
You ever think about the places where you see the strangest people in the world, the places where everybody has to go there? So the amusement park. Everybody from all walks of life goes to the amusement park, the DMV. Everybody from all walks of life. You see the strangest people you've ever seen in your life at the DMV. You see the strangest people you've ever seen in your life at the amusement park.
Good points all there.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of another place, but those are the two that come to mind.
Those are very good. I have to give you some credit.
Thank you very much, John. I don't know how we got on it, but I'm glad we're thinking. And we were really talking about Tim Anderson fighting. And like you said, no one's talking. Well, I think plenty of people.
It's a beautiful Monday. We've already gotten off the rails in the first 3 minutes, and
people
I love
talking about Freddie. People are talking about the Cubs beating the Braves 2-1 in that series, which is crazy. They've won 6 straight series, the Cubs have.
People are also talking about the U.S. women's national team and how Megan lost the game. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But I got to get back to the Tim Anderson. We just heard the call, and what I wanted to bring up and make that was so great there, everybody went full boxing after that.
Even the umpire.
That's what I was going to say. Did you see the umpire do a little spin around and then sit down like he was about to officiate a dead gum boxing match?
He was ready to roll.
He was ready to roll. Everybody, the announcers went boxing. The fighters actually, squared up. When Tim Anderson threw his glove down, everybody reacted perfectly.
Well, John, imagine you're having the worst season of your career.
By the way, you know why he got knocked out? And Jose Ramirez wasn't scared to fight him, even though he's a very small guy.
He didn't go home.
Well, everybody knows Tim Anderson doesn't have any power. He's only got 1 home run this year, dude. He's lost all his pop.
You got to go home, though.
Man, he got whipped.
Yeah, but he put up his Dukes first.
He
and
did.
He got punched. And he's having the worst season of his career. Just a bad look all around. TKO, John.
It was awesome. It was awesome. By the way, I also have a crazy story about the White Sox. Did you hear the report about how they have no rules and they dudes are sleeping in the dugout, missing pitching, fielding practice, PFPs, and did you hear anything about this with the White Sox?
It's a lawless.
Basically,
nation.
yes. They're completely running themselves, and that's why they're running themselves into the ground. But anyway, we got a little baseball to talk to, but it's about time to talk with Jake Crane. Also, again, we got to talk about the U.S. Women's National Team. They lost to Sweden. Thanks, Megan. I really appreciate that. But we'll get into that in just a minute. But again, Jake Crane from Crane & Company. He's going to join us. And if you haven't noticed, college football landscape is changing off really, really fast. Nobody better to talk about it than with Jake Crane. What's up, Jake?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Man, doing really well. A lot of people out there, if they missed your show this morning, Crane & Company, check out YouTube. Just type in Crane & Company. Bam, you'll slap that sucker. You'll see it. Watch it all the time. Watch it when you want to. Follow Jake at JakeCrane_. It is the best show out there. Blaine, David, y'all kill it every morning. A lot of people are talking about Pac-12, Big 12. I want to first get your opinion. I know how you feel because I watched you this morning, but some people who are out there nervous about college football, should they be?
I can understand people being a little wary because a lot's changed. And look, I don't think it was perfect. I think the way they rolled NIL and the transfer portal and all this stuff out here without any rules, it's not very smart to do that in any walk of life, but especially when you're making huge changes to something like this. But at the end of the day, and this is what I said this morning, the on-the-field product is better than it's ever been. And we talk about all this conference realignment and all this NIL stuff and everything that's going on, but the minute that ball's kicked off, you're going to be watching, I'm going to be watching, and it's going to be a great product. Do we have a bunch of blind people driving a Ferrari talking about the people who run college football? Yes, we do. But at the end of the day, this is our sport, man. You're going to have the same pit in your stomach before your team kicks off. You're going to have that same emotional feeling when they run out of the tunnel and you see those colors and you hear the band. That's what makes it great. You're still going to celebrate the same when your team does well. Should you have a little bit of worry? Yeah, I think that's natural. And when you have these many changes, there should be a little bit of worry there. But college football is great because college football is great, not because of the people that run it.
Also wanted to bring up, because the conference have changed so much, if you go back, basically a year ago, everybody was talking about the death of the Big 12. Well, Brett Yormark over there has torn it up. He's replaced everybody. He just went and snatched Colorado earlier. Then he just grabs Arizona State, Utah. Of course, we know he brought in Cincinnati. We know all the, Houston and all that good stuff. He's done a lot of work to keep the Big 12 afloat. Is it Georgie Boy who basically crapped the bed? Is that why the Pac-12 is dissolving in front of us?
Well, to start with the Pac-12, I think the Pac-12 has made a lot of bad decisions over time. I don't think this is on one person or on one decision. I think this is a little bit of arrogance mixed with naivete. That's what I think it is. Say what you want about the ACC, but at least they got their grant of rights deal done. It's like the Pac-12 thought they were a lot better looking than what they were when they showed up to the bar, and now they wonder why they're going home alone. Not that the Pac-12 was ever going to be able to generate as much revenue as, say, the SEC or the Big Ten, and that isn't to mean that there's not spots out there where people don't love the game as much as we do. I've recruited it, I know, but in aggregate, when you look at it on the whole, it would be impossible, and they should have gotten this handled a lot earlier, but they held out, and you can blame Georgie Boy out there for a lot of it. But I think this goes all the way back, to the way they did the Pac-12 network, to the way they rolled that thing out. I think it's a lot of bad decisions that have led up to basically the disintegration of the Pac-12. They're done now. I mean, what brands are you going to add that can somewhat save you? And then when you look at Brett Yormark, he was very proactive in trying to snag some of the biggest brands and biggest markets that were left out there, because every brand and market isn't going to be able to yield you a big return. They went and grabbed UCF. They went and grabbed Cincinnati. They went and grabbed Houston. They went and grabbed BYU. And now you look at what they're doing with Arizona and Arizona State and Utah and Colorado. They've been proactive. They haven't been arrogant, but they've also been smart. So I think you just look at two conferences that saw themselves in a lot different light, and that's why you see the Big 12 swimming really fast and the Pac-12 sinking.
It's just it's wild to see, but it all kind of makes sense. I mean, I didn't know the Big 12 was going to go and be able to resurrect themselves. A year ago, I thought it was the Pac-12 who was in better position, and now it's crazy. All you have is Stanford, Oregon State, Washington State, and Cal left. What happens to this, and what happens to those four universities?
Well, I mean, look, either one of two things is going to happen. Number one, they're going to merge with the Mountain West or somebody like that because they've got to find a way. I mean, it's not like you have to add.
Take a big step down.
Two teams. Yeah, I mean, who are you going to add that is going to increase the value or even get close to where you were? There's not a lot of people left at the party. There's just not. So whether that's a merger with the Mountain West or you just fold up shop and those four teams go somewhere else, those are your two options right now. Now, I know that the Pac-12 wants to survive because we forget these teams aren't just leaving in football. The Pac-12 just lost Arizona basketball. I mean, you're losing huge brands that affect not only one sport, it's all the sports. So it's either merge with somebody else or you're going to dissolve because there's no way. Listen, San Diego State, they already said they're not leaving the Mountain West now. I mean, Boise State, it's crazy. We had a caller call in on our show the other day from Idaho that was like, my whole life I've dreamt about Boise State joining the Pac-12. Now if they called, I'd hang up the phone on them. So that's where we've gotten. So you either merge or you dissolve. Those are the two. Now,
what's the ACC do going forward? Right now, everybody's over there a little bit nervous. Florida State's itching to get the hell out. Right now, if you're an ACC fan, are you worried as hell?
Well, I think in the long term you are, but what did the ACC do? They locked their teams up in that grant of rights deal. Now, listen, I'm not a lawyer. I know that lawyers can find a way to make arguments. I'm not up there going through the files of the grant of rights deal and seeing what's possible and what's not. But I do think the odds of Florida State or Clemson or those teams going to the Big Ten are very slim because they'd have to totally get out of that thing or the ACC would have to fold. I don't see the ACC folding. Where I would worry if I was the ACC is that ESPN is locked into the SEC and the ACC. So if there's any wiggle room for Florida State or Clemson or some of these teams to leave, you're now dealing with the same entity. They can go back and do things that the Big Ten and Fox cannot do. So I think Florida State and some of these teams are posturing to the SEC saying, yeah, the Big Ten's in play. Look at paragraph C-A127. We this, that, and the other. When in reality, the biggest threat to the ACC is the SEC. And I don't buy this narrative that Greg Sankey and the SEC, oh, we don't want to mess with anybody else. We're going to sit back and hold tight. It's a predatory conference. Hell, the slogan of the conference is it just means more. They don't care about feelings. They care about dollar signs.
In the swan song season of the Pac-12, would this be a year that they actually get a team into the college football playoff?
Boy, wouldn't that be the greatest stroke of irony of all time? and I think in reality, if you look at it from top to bottom, there's a good chance the Pac-12 could end up with the second-best conference in college football. So I guess if you're going to go out at your best point, but that doesn't mean anything. It'll make it hurt even worse, in my opinion, because, the Pac-12 is entering an area where you have 5 to 6 really quality teams, and I may be underselling in Arizona or somebody like that. So to me, it almost makes it hurt worse.
Notre Dame. They're going to stand pat, and I mean, a lot of people wonder why. But again, you got to remember, I mean, there's like 20 million Catholics out there. They keep all their media deals money. They're not just, they're not like a college town. They're a brand nationwide.
Yeah,
they're never going to join a conference, right?
Well, I mean, look, eventually with all these teams, if we end up in super conferences, which I think we're going to, they're going to have to, because if there's 24 teams in my conference, it's not like they're going to add games to the regular season. You add more conference games. The more conference teams, the more conference games. And what am I going to schedule Notre Dame week 1 when I got to play 10 SEC games? You've lost your mind. There's not an AD in the world that's going to do that. So I think they may be forced to. But they have that NBC contract just hanging right there. So if you're a conference like the ACC or somebody that's trying to be safe, which, look, Notre Dame ain't going to the Pac-12. You can go ahead and forget that. But if you're the ACC, they've already been in there in basketball, obviously. There's a connection there. Maybe they're a brand that could somewhat resurrect you if it does go south. But Notre Dame right now, they're sitting pretty where they're at. They're going to let the chips continue to fall. But they are to me, outside of Notre Dame, who is the last big-time brand out there that's not affiliated with a conference? There's really nobody else that you can sit here and look at and say, oh, man, well, they can bring an incredible amount of tradition and brand and market, and they have a TV contract. So I think Notre Dame's in a good spot, but eventually they're going to be forced to join a conference.
Two games that I've been kind of eyeballing, Texas, Alabama, FSU, LSU. Which game do you think will define more? Like, what I mean is which game do you think is going to be better? And Alabama, Texas, I look at that and I'm like, that could just be absolute. With my man coming back with the mullet, even though he shaved it, I can't even remember. Quinn Ewers, he was tearing it up last year till he got injured. That was at Texas. It was hot as all get out. I think that'll be a great one. But I think a lot of people are sleeping on Florida State and LSU.
Look, I think Florida State, LSU has a chance, and they play on Sunday, obviously, in week 1, which is really week 2 because week 0 is not a thing. I hate that we do that. It's like patient 0. It makes absolutely no sense. It's like pre-boarding for an airplane. You don't pre-board. You're the first people to board the plane. I don't know why we do these mental gymnastics or, these semantics with words. But, I think Florida and LSU has a chance to probably be the best game. But I'm calling that game. It's the biggest insurance game. It's the State Farm game of 2023 because that's a game where if you win, you've bought yourself a loss during the regular season or maybe in the conference championship game. If you lose, you have to thread the needle even more, but it's week 1, which is always a nice thing to have in your back pocket towards the end of the year, especially if you were hot late. And both of these teams are looking like they're going to have pretty good years, so it doesn't look like it's going to be a bad loss, and it doesn't affect whether you make the conference championship game or not. But I tell you another game to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on this South Carolina-North Carolina game. I think this could end up being a 55-53 type game. I don't trust either one of these teams up front, and they've got some guys at the skill position that can really, really score and really, really put the ball in the air and make plays on the scramble drill. So that's a game to keep an eye on for sure.
Which quarter? I mean, Drake May, is he the second best quarterback in the country right now behind Caleb Williams?
I think there's a really good argument for it. I think there's a couple other guys that you could throw in there. Caleb obviously is the number one guy. But, when you look at both the quarterbacks, Spencer Rattler and Drake May, there's a lot of questions up front for both of these teams. Football is not baseball. It's not basketball. You can't have one person go out there and win you a game and everybody else just play okay. If they don't protect the quarterback, it's not going to work. If you don't have any semblance of a run game which helps you achieve balance, it's not going to work. So the biggest question going into that game is not whether Drake May or Spencer Rattler is going to be ready. It's can they protect, who can stop the run, and who can run the ball.
Over in the Big Ten, Michigan, of course, everybody's looking at, and they always look at Ohio State. Could this be a year, though, that Penn State might sneak up and smack somebody in the face?
I've got to see Drew Aller first do it consistently. I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, Sean Clifford was there for 33 years.
Big red dog.
But Drew Aller has all the tools. He's one of my biggest hinge players of 2023. Him and Joe Milton. There's a couple others where if they come through and play well, the team around them, kind of the opposite of what I was just saying about North Carolina and South Carolina, the team around them is good enough to be able to make some noise. But that is not the team that is going to sneak up on people and nationally in the Big Ten. It's Wisconsin. You're in the Big Ten West. You only play Ohio State. You don't play Michigan. You get them at home. Tanner Mordecai is the transfer quarterback that nobody is talking about from SMU, and I don't get why. You're good up front. You've got good skill players and a really good defense. Luke Fickell and Phil Longo, I like that combination, man. It's like tequila and margarita mix.
Dude, that is I'm glad you told me that. I'll be looking at Wisconsin's futures now by the time I get off the show.
It smells like 10-2. Go look at that schedule, Johnny Radio. Go look at it.
Oh, man, I'm excited to check that out. Now, I got to also ask you, because it was a fun weekend in the world of sports, of course. Did you see, though, with everybody was talking baseball, did you see the fight, Tim Anderson, Jose Ramirez?
Yes, we talked about it today on Crane and Company. My brother, and I agree with him to a certain extent. I just need him to kind of tighten it up a little bit. He thinks there should be fights allowed in baseball.
Like hockey,
and,
I heard it.
Well,
But you made the best
like
point.
Hockey.
If Shohei Ohtani breaks his hand getting in a fight in baseball because it's kind of like hockey, that'd be a big risk.
No, like, here's the thing. You're not fighting. I'll fight you if you try and fight. So, like, there's a couple answers. One, you put gloves on them, okay? And I know that'll take a second, but, hockey guys take a second to get all their stuff off before they throw it, right? So we got a little time. Or, just like in hockey, you have a goon. Maybe it's the wily vet. He probably doesn't hit good. He probably can't field that well. But when you need somebody to go out there and represent the squad from a physical standpoint, that's who you put up against somebody else. I don't think making the bases bigger is going to help baseball. I don't think the pitch clock is going to say, oh, man, well, now they have a pitch clock. There's going to be a ton more people to watch baseball. Let them throw hands. That's the only thing people talked about in Major League Baseball this weekend. That's it. It wasn't any game. It wasn't any home run. It wasn't any play. It was that Tim Anderson and Jose Ramirez decided they wanted to look at each other and play a game, but let's be honest.
Best show on sports right now when you just get up in the morning, you're tired of some of these talk shows in the morning that drive you crazy on TV, go straight to YouTube. It's pretty simple. Pull up Crane & Company. I do it every morning. You should do it too. Jake, tell me what you got coming down the pipe this week.
Man, we got a ton. We got Jeff Collins, the coach at Georgia Tech. He's taking a year off right now. We're going to dive into how fall camp works out. We all did it, coaching, playing, stuff like that, but getting another perspective is always great. Coaches poll just got released. Bama's at number 3. Yeah, goodbye rat poison. We're talking everything NFL, too. Had a great conversation on should Bryce Young be starting this first preseason game. If you go look that up on Crane & Company on YouTube, it's CRAIN and Company. You can find out why I'm right and why my brother's wrong. But, yeah, man, we're talking everything. We have live calls. We have a live chat. If you like sports talk the way it used to be, and listen, we embrace debate, but we're not on there just yelling at each other for an hour and a half. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and we're so close, Johnny Radio, to 100,000 subs on YouTube. I think we're at 95,000. So if y'all guys don't mind shooting over there to Crane & Company YouTube, hitting that subscribe button, I'll be your best friend forever.
Man, Jake, be blessed. We'll do it again next Monday, and I'll be watching you in the morning, brother.
Hey, sounds great. Heading off to Vegas tomorrow, baby. Dana White invited us to their slap boxing event, our power slap, whatever it's called.
Is your brother really going to do anything in this slap fighting thing?
Listen. I think he could. Thanks to Nugenics, he's super jacked and tan now. He wants to fight Jake Paul. We just wonder why Jake Paul just keeps walking into nursing homes picking fights. Fight somebody your age, dog.
Dude, man, y'all have fun out in Vegas, man. I'll be watching you in the morning. Be blessed, brother.
We will, man. Appreciate y'all.
That is Jake Crane from Crane & Company. Man, I'm jealous. I want to go to Vegas.
Who doesn't?
You had fun in Vegas, didn't you?
Oh, sure did.
Which brothel did you go to?
Yeah, I forget the name. It all runs together. I did so much opium that night that it all runs together.
They don't even, man, this ain't 1600. Stop it. He's so goofy. We are going to take a quick timeout. On the other side, it's time to talk a little bit about Tiger basketball. Also, Tiger football is around the corner. We got Terry Davis next. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
The FedEx St. Jude Championship returns to TPC Southwind, August 9th through the 13th. Don't miss your chance to witness the top 70 players from the PGA Tour season battle it out in the first event of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Only 50 players will make it through Memphis. Don't miss your chance to watch the drama unfold. Daily grounds and upgraded ticket options are on sale now at FedExChampionship.com.
O'Reilly O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, QuietTech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Response to the all-new Genesis Diamonds has been incredible. People are loving what we've brought to Memphis. Genesis is a different kind of jewelry store with more jewelry than you've ever seen in one place at prices you never thought possible. What people really love about Genesis is the transparency, the education. Genesis is revealing all the long-held secrets of the diamond industry. We'll teach you how to buy like a dealer buys, how to understand the ways diamonds are priced by the wholesalers, how slight variations in size and clarity can translate into thousands in savings passed along to you. At Genesis, our non-commissioned diamond experts are here to guide you every step of the way. Our diamond education will make you a better, more informed consumer. Even if you don't buy from us, we'll make you a more dangerous shopper when you visit other places. Discover the Genesis difference, forever changing how people in Memphis buy diamonds and fine jewelry. Now open at Poplar & Perkins, the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans.
A new era in public safety begins with you. Be the change you want to see. Join us for the Memphis Police Department Hiring Expo, Saturday, August 26, 2023, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 170 North Main Street downtown. We'll be taking applications, performing basic testing, and interviewing candidates on site. Free parking will be located at Poplar Avenue and Front Street. Salary starting at $60,700. Benefits include a $15,000 sign-on bonus, up to $10,000 relocation assistance. For more information or details, visit joinmpd.com.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's hanging out with me, and me are going to talk a little Tiger basketball, a little Tiger football with touchdown Terry Davis. TD, how you doing on this Monday?
Man, what is up with you, man? How was your weekend?
Man, it was actually very chill. Like, I didn't do very much, and it was nice. I actually was. Oh, you won't even believe this if I tell you this. I don't even know if Jay will believe me. I actually did not even have a cocktail this weekend.
No.
I really didn't. I really didn't.
Were you sick under the weather? Were you
No. I was just worn out from moving, having a new grandbaby in the world, going back and forth from Tupelo, moving stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was mentally spent. I don't think I got off the couch all day Saturday.
Wow. I'm impressed. Good for you.
Yeah. I mean, just chill. But, man, it wasn't chill for the dadgum Tigers, man. They've been down in the DR, living a little life, playing a little basketball. Did you learn anything?
Yes, we did. First of all, we learned that Memphis basketball is so much bigger than the Grizzlies basketball because Memphis Squid went off after the first game. It was like mid-season for them. They were complaining and all this for a streaming service that most people, they had to find, but once they found it, it was wild. If you just watch Squid and watch the game, it was crazy. It was just like mid-season basketball, man. That's how popular Memphis basketball is.
Man, hey, look, I'm not going to sit there and say it ain't. I believe it. I mean, Griznass, Tigers. There's a lot of crossover there too, by the way. Like
It is.
I mean,
It is.
tons and tons and tons of crossover. When is my man, is David Johnson going to officially join the Tigers? David Jones.
He looked really good.
He looked good on the other team, didn't he?
He looked really good. And just imagine if when he's there. Caleb Mills, I think he stood out the first game he played. It's going to be hard keeping Aston off the team, because Aston is a shooter. I've been saying that all along. Now, Memphis is beginning to see that he's a shooter.
Even though he's just now coming in here, you really think he can get in there and get on that court and knock him down during the games?
Shoot, man. That's what they do, man.
Shoot.
And the two freshmen and the other freshman, Carl, man, he's going to be hard to keep out the lineup too. So Penny's going to have some hard decisions down the line. So, but he's going to have some versatility too. And if he even able to get two more people on the roster, meaning Williams and someone else, he's going to even have tougher decisions. So this is setting up to be potentially a special year. This might be one of Penny's best teams ever coming to start a season.
Yeah, I know right now everybody that I talk to, especially a bunch of my friends who are huge Tiger fans, I got one and thought, he's so fired up for this season. He's constantly on the Twitter, the Facebook, doing the Tiger post, talking about all the stuff and everything that's going down. He's stoked. And he's also still wondering, especially the one I'm thinking about, my buddy Matt, he's still wondering, is there a chance that Malcolm may come back?
Until Malcolm, like I said, I think this is the week that Malcolm decides.
This is the week, you think?
I think this is the week because you got to realize most colleges start back up soon, like next week and the week after next. And he needs to be enrolled so he can, do all the necessary thing to go to the NCAA clearinghouse to make sure to transfer approved. Even though he's a graduate transfer, you still got some steps you need to go through so you can start practicing. Because they start back practicing, they're finished practicing now, but they start back in about 4 or 5 weeks of, preseason conditioning and things like that before they get started for real in October.
Always got to ask you about the Williams, Mikey and Dre. Any word? Which one's more likely? How you feeling right now? What's your gut telling you?
I think Mikey will be on campus before Dre will be on campus not because of what the situation, but because the NCAA is sitting on their thumb, just trying to figure out what's going on with football and not doing anything else because they're the NCAA. That's what they do. They do nothing.
You really think that Mikey's going to be on campus before Dre?
Yeah.
Dang. So that's just. That's right now though. They need Dre a lot more than Mikey. Right now, Mikey's coming off the bench.
Right now, they don't really need Mikey to tell the truth about it. But if he comes in, it's going to be even tougher because Mikey is one of those guys who can create his own shot, and he's another type of guy that's going to bring eyeballs because he's one of those flashy type guys. He brings excitement. He's one of those guys. So he might not be on that level or of a superstar, but he has what it takes to get people to watch your team.
All right, it's what is it? August 7th?
Yep.
All right, we're going to do Terry Davis. August, what's the starting lineup for the Tigers? We're pretending Dre is going to be cleared. Mikey's going to be here. Everything the Tigers want, they get.
Man, don't put me in that situation. Okay, you talking about for the opening for the opening game?
No. I'm talking about like the one that opening finishes the season, their best five.
But that's going to be
theoretically.
It's going to be different from who starts the season and who finishes the season. Because I think with some of those freshmen, they may just ball out and just take a spot in the lineup.
All right, give me the early starters in the first three off the bench.
Because Penny has gotten into those guys, their head that it don't matter who finishes. It's about how we finish. And it's not about it's about we. And I think this team right here got that we mentality.
Even with a lot of people not out there, there to practice.
Even with a lot of people out there not there practicing. Because the best players going to play. Whether there's 7 players or 10 players, the best players going to play. So Penny has proven in the past, this ain't no charity event anymore. I'm not going to give you no sympathy minutes. I'm going to play the best people to win games. Because the more games we win, the better you look. And the further we go in the tournament, the better your stock of getting an opportunity to play in the NBA. And that's what most of these guys want, that shot to play in the NBA.
Of course, that's what everybody and their grandmother wants.
But Tiger fans want a second trip to the weekends or maybe a third weekend trip. That's what Tiger fans want.
Man, after last year and seeing what old Dusty May did, after the Tigers had it right there and just kind of slipped right through their fingers. Oh, I'll never forget that. That was just a heartbreaking loss, was it not?
It was a heartbreaking loss. And, and somebody
God, it was a
brought
heartbreaking loss.
And something I brought, we had a conversation about Tiger basketball yesterday, and we talked about Keontae Kennedy. If that person had not hit the wall, how much better would the Tiger team gone?
That's painful.
It's crazy. It's self-inflicted, and that's what I've always heard Memphis in the start of the season, those self-inflicted wounds that they do to themselves. The losing to a couple games in the season, in the preseason NIT last year. Now they get an opportunity to go to the Bahamas, and make noise because there's some really good basketball programs down there. And I'm looking forward to the Michigan game, the first game, and potentially the Arkansas game, the second game. And who's going to be there?
With Michigan, Juwan Howard. Did I lose you, Terry? I think we lost Terry Davis. Man, he got so excited he knocked himself off the mic. Well, yo, TD, what's up, my friend?
Yeah, I'm here. I didn't leave.
Oh, man, it just cut out for you. I couldn't hear you. Maybe they could.
Okay. Yeah. That Bahamas tournament, that's going to determine if Memphis is a top 4 seed or a bottom seed. Because if they go there and win 2 games, then they will put everybody on notice. And, because they need to get out of that 8-9 type slot. They need to get up to like 4 or 5 so they have a good chance to make a second weekend without being shattered.
I would agree. That would be very nice. We'll see what happens. Now I got to switch gears, though, because Bethune-Cookman, September 2nd, Tigers opening their season. What are you expecting from Ryan Silverfield's boys?
That game, a 50-burger on BC, man. Seriously.
All right. Good. Well, that's an easy start. What about when you go on the road to play Arkansas State the next week?
Arkansas State's going to be a little bit tougher, but with that defense they're playing, Memphis should go 2-0. They actually got a vote in the coaches' poll today, too. So by going 2-0, they may actually make the top 25 by week 3.
Get out of town. Did they really get a vote in the coaches' poll?
Yeah. I do not lie to you, Mr. Johnny Radio.
You have got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Hold on. So you're telling me that Ryan Silverfield now has a vote?
Yes. And he's going to get some more by week 3 when they go 2-0.
Oh, man. They got Navy at home the third week.
3-0.
Get out of town. What about when they play Missouri?
3-1.
Oh, okay. All right. So what do you expect, though, from this Tiger team? I mean, everybody knows it's Seth Hennigan's 3rd season. My man's got a lot of football underneath him. Who's he going to be getting the ball to? Has he got the backs in the backfield? What's the line look like? Defense, are they going to be shored up? Is this going to be a successful Tiger football season? Because they sure need it.
It depends on what your definition of success is. Because success to me...
Top 2 in the American?
5-2 in American.
Top 2.
Top 2, top 3 maybe. I think top 2 might be stretching it. I think 9-10 wins season, 35,000-40,000 average in the Liberty Bowl. That's a successful season for me.
That is a successful season if they can get that.
If you can get 35,000-40,000 a game, and you can...
I mean, that Tulane game's going to be packed. I mean, when they got Tulane at home, that's going to be a big one because that's going to be huge. Boise State will probably be busy because it's Boise State. But again, Navy's going to be busy. It's Navy.
Right.
You know what? They might actually they might get there.
Exactly.
Do they get to count the Missouri game that's played on the road? The attendance?
Yes. If they can, no, they don't. But if they can, if they can go 4-1 and go beat Boise and then start the season off 5-1, 4-1, there's no reason there shouldn't be 35,000-40,000 there for the opening conference game. No reason.
We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. What are you hearing about though? Actual, like the Tigers' skilled positions. What are you hearing about? Like what kind of skill? This used to be running back U. They used to also have wide receivers out the yin yang, putting quarterbacks in the NFL. Like where do they fare it from those teams that we just was not too very long ago?
I don't see, because we don't get to see practice like we did on the Norvell, so we can't see who's actually shining out.
Do you just get 10 minutes and got to bounce?
In your 10 minutes, pretty much look at them stretch and all like that, and you seeing some, you don't get to see the whole picture. So you pretty much go what you go by. Seth Hennigan pretty much seems to like his receiving core because, so we won't know until we know. We see Bethune-Cookman and go from there. That's the first opportunity we all will get to see that crew. But according to paper, they should be good on paper. The running backs, you got Sutton coming back. He's pretty good. You got Rock out there on the wide receiver, so they should be pretty good. It's the transfers, the transfers in from the portal. Those guys, because usually it takes them a little while to develop into good Memphis football players. If they can develop quicker than they did in the past, I think the team will be, very exciting on the field. I think they're going to win games, but one thing about winning and another thing about winning pretty. And I think they need to win pretty to get butts in the seats.
Man, I got to ask you a little baseball. Everybody in the world's talking about the fight. Somewhere Robin Ventura is excited as all get out because people are going to be talking about, Tim Anderson getting knocked out instead of him getting his head walloped by Nolan Ryan back in the day. That was pretty fascinating, wasn't it?
Man, I can't believe that the umpire just said, look, y'all do what y'all do. I'll get out the way.
Dude, everybody went, once Tim Anderson threw his glove down, it was crazy. The announcers went straight into boxing ring announcers. The umpire did a turnaround like he was about to, referee this boxing match. It was great. And then Ramirez knocked him, dotted him, stunned him, and then knocked him out. I love it, man.
God. That was an actual fight, even though it lasted 8 seconds.
Hey, Mike Tyson remember, he was knocking people out in like 18 seconds back in the day.
Oh, my
Jose
crazy.
Ramirez, the little guy, the short guy, too. Like Mike Tyson was a little short heavyweight champion. Them little guys will knock you out.
It's crazy, man. How many games they get?
Man, dude, I hope you don't go hard. I wouldn't, man.
They get at least 5 each.
I was gonna say 5.
They're gonna get at least 5 each because you cannot throw a punch. This man.
Man, do you not remember 1990 when Dwight Gooden got hit on the first pitch? And he charged the mound when they were playing the Phillies, and that took like 20 minutes, and you had literally every single player duking it out. Like that was the most. I'll never forget that. That was the most amazing fight still in baseball that I've ever seen. It was awesome, and only 4 guys got suspended. Yet every single player, the bullpen emptied out. Strawberry came in for right. Man, it was just wild.
It was wild. Hey, before you let me go, don't forget Jaren Jackson Jr. He's working out in the Vegas, and he was voted one of the best players in practice. I think they got a little showcase game tonight in Vegas on TV. So good luck to Jaren. I know they don't play international until the end of the month, but Jaren is doing good things out there, even though it's not on film.
Did you say that's gonna be televised?
I think it is televised. It's on one of probably either NBA TV or more like NBA TV or the NBA app. It's one of them, but they do play tonight.
All right, cool, man. Jaren tearing it up out there. He got voted what?
Best player for the training camp.
Nice.
Yeah.
Putting in that work, dude. He takes that next step, son. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Watch out. There might be a parade up inside my city. One other thing, though. You think I'm going to let you get away and not mention your Reds?
What about them?
Man, they lost 6 straight. They make the Angels
Man,
and the Reds since the All-Star break, please.
Good for TV. We making it good for TV. This is the third 6-game losing streak, and we only get down by 1.5 games, and we still up on the wild
Cubs
card.
have caught y'all. Now you're tied with the Cubs, 1.5 games back with the Brewers. Man,
we giving them that fake hope, baby. That fake hope.
I like it.
You put it in front of them, then you take it away from them.
Terry, man, I hope you have a wonderful Monday. I appreciate your time more than anything. Be blessed out there, brother.
Be good, my brother. See you soon.
That is Terry Davis. Follow him at TerryD515. Read his work at the Tri-State Defender and listen to him every single Monday right here on Sports 56 98.5 FM. But don't forget, though, one other thing I forgot to tell you. You want a style profile? What about Frontier Western Store, man? They have everything, not just to dress you from head to toe, but dress you and everybody you know from head to toe, because they have a ladies' boutique, a children's department, a men's section, the largest boot showroom around. It's at Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road. It's down in Olive Branch. They got like a horsey outside. You know what I'm saying? When you see the horsey when you're going down Goodman Road, you know that's Frontier Western Store. Saddle up, head on down there, and if you can't get down there, don't even have to saddle up because you can just go to your computer or even your phone. Go to frontierwesternstore.com. The website is so easy to navigate. You can find everything you want. You can shop by sales. You can shop by brands. You can shop by men's, women's, children's. You can shop however you want online, and it's easy to check out. Once you check out, your order's done. They ship your order out within 24 hours, so it arrives extremely fast. And any order of $75 or more is shipped absolutely free. That's Frontier Western Store and frontierwesternstore.com. Back in Two Shakes, we got to talk still about Megan missing the kick. U.S. women's national team never lost this early in the World Cup. Did you know that, Jay Morgan?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, by the way. Dude, this just proves the point. You get too cocky, and you know what happens? Like, you end up getting, somebody sneaks up on you and takes your mantle. That's what happened, man. They got cocky against the Swedes. By the way, did you see the Swedes? Talk about a good-looking soccer team. Like, now that is a good-looking group of girls right there. They did good. Go Sweden. Don't touch the dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Right now at Wendy's, when you buy either Dave's Single, Spicy Chicken Sandwich, Medium Frosty, or 10-piece nuggets, you can get another for just $1. Your dollar never tasted so good. So it's obvious what everyone will get, right?
Definitely nugs
Spicy
and
Chicken
a Frosty.
Sandwich,
Dave's Single and a Frosty for me.
and a Frosty.
Okay, who said Frosty and a Frosty? Pick your obvious choice. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's, buy one, get one for $1.
Limited time only. Price of participation may vary. U.S. Wendy's, valid for item of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined in a combo or any other offer.
Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch has an offer you can't refuse. They will pay you to do business with them if you want luxury. And I'm talking the Genesis G70 car. If you would love to have that kind of new technology, they will give you a $1,000 rebate when you finance with Genesis Motor Finance. In other words, they'll pay you $1,000 to do business with them, and you get brand new luxury. You can't beat it. That's Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis, right at the corner of Craft Road and Highway 78 in Olive Branch. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch, where customer retention is amazing. There's a reason. They take care of you with a team that's been together for a long time. Whether it's finance or whether it's service, you can't beat them. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis.
A new era in public safety begins with you. Be the change you want to see. Join us for the Memphis Police Department Hiring Expo, Saturday, August 26, 2023, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 170 North Main Street downtown. We'll be taking applications, performing basic testing, and interviewing candidates on site. Free parking will be located at Poplar Avenue and Front Street. Salary starting at $60,700. Benefits include a $15,000 sign-on bonus, up to $10,000 relocation assistance. For more information or details, visit joinmpd.com.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way. Offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
FedEx St. Jude Championship time, and we have it for you from TPC Southwind all day with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy, Wolo and Friends, and at noon with John Harden and 3 to 6 with Bryant, Brett, and Jay Morgan. Wednesday through Friday, come see us. Our coverage brought to you by our title sponsor, Landers Ford Collierville, Fratello Steakhouse in Hernando, Town Village, Memphis Tourism Sports Council, Coletta's, East Memphis Ace Hardware, Jim's Place Grill, and all leaderboard updates brought to you by Sissy's Log Cabin.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I got Jay Morgan on the other side of the glass. I am so excited to get to Hardwood today because I have some great stories. We had fights this weekend. We also have, I think, the most heartwarming story that I've ever seen when it comes to college sports. Jay Morgan, this might make you cry.
Okay.
I'm just going to tell you, Eastern Michigan football. Their coach, Chris Kregerson or something. Chris something. You know what? I'll look it up during the break because I don't have my paper out here for the story later. But it is like a tearjerker. That's like at 12:30 today. I'm going to make you laugh because I also have a very disturbing. Like, did you hear about what happened to the big triathlon this week?
No,
oh my gosh! It is one of the most horrific stories ever when it comes to sports. So I got the sweetest story I've ever heard in my life, and then the most disgusting story I've ever heard in my life. 57 athletes had the worst weekend of their entire lives. Now, I got a little NFL news. Did you hear about Alvin Kamara? Got in a little issue in Vegas, beat up dude. Remember that in the hotel? Out at the Pro Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's been suspended for 3 days. Right now, do you know who is visiting the New Orleans Saints?
Kareem Hunt.
How did you know that?
Sorry.
Man, you're really good at this sports thing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that 1-2 punch of Kareem Hunt. And, I mean, it helps out when Alvin Kamara is suspended for the first 3 games. But Kareem Hunt, Alvin Kamara, I've been talking a little bit about this Saints team over in the NFC South. I don't believe the Falcons are quite there yet. Carolina, I like Bryce Young. I like what the Panthers are doing. I think the Carolina Panthers are building for the future. They're going to be a good football team in a couple years. They got the right pieces surrounding a young Bryce Young. I know he is so small. I've kind of talked about him, how I don't really necessarily – I don't know if it's going to work. But, I think about it. The more I think about it, the more I hear about his, teammates talk about him in practice. And then you look what the Carolina Panthers organization did. Frank Wright's great with young quarterbacks. They went out there and brought in Miles Sanders. You have Chuba Hubbard. You got a good backfield. You got veteran wide receiver and Adam Thielen. DJ Chark, he's going to be there. They brought in Hayden Hurst to play tight end. Their offensive line's much better. I don't know. This Carolina Panthers team in a weak division is going to be pretty decent. But again, I don't think they're going to be what the Saints are. And I think this Saints team is going to be good. And Derek Carr, I think, is better than Jimmy G. Yes. And you say to yourself, well, then why would the Raiders get rid of Derek Carr if Jimmy G's better? Same reason I think the Raiders right now aren't going to pay Josh Jacobs. They might even trade Josh Jacobs. You know what the Raiders are actually doing this year?
What, tanking?
Tanking for Caleb Williams. They realize they are in Las Vegas. That is where you market stars. And yes, you have Devontae Adams. You can market him. But could you imagine the marketing if you have Caleb Williams and Devontae Adams in Las Vegas? That would be huge. And everybody believes Caleb Williams is now they're calling him the next Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, the first sure thing since Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Now, that's high. That's lofty expectations. Now, saying Andrew Luck, though, I mean,
he was a sure thing.
Yeah, I mean, he was a sure
they
thing.
Literally,
I just feel like Jim Irsay killed that guy. Like, took that dude's career away. I mean, they never gave him an offensive line, made him drop back 50 times a game. They almost got that man killed. And they made him basically retire and leave football. And he's still living a good life.
Living a hell of a life.
Yeah. Do you know what he's doing? Because he's a big, smart nerd.
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out?
Just chilling. He does a book. He has a book club.
Are you being serious?
Swear to God, he has a book club. Think I'm lying, John?
No, I don't think you're lying.
Okay.
I don't think you're lying at all.
I'm not lying.
But yeah, you got Kareem Hunt, who's down there visiting the Saints. Again, I think the Saints are going to be pretty good in that division this year. Look at their win totals go over, because you've heard about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers situation with Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask.
And how well he's playing, you're saying?
Nope, it's not been going well.
Oh.
It's not been going well. Oh, by the way, did you hear about Jimmy G's first 2 practices? 7 interceptions.
Well, that's pretty good. Good defense then. It looks like Dean's going to be real good this year.
Nah, the defense ain't very good.
Looks like Dean's going to be real good this year.
Dude, you got to remember, though, Jimmy G hadn't been out there throwing a football since he just came off his injury. He just passed the physical for his, opportunity to come out there. But again, I'm also saying the reason they brought in Jimmy G is because they know he's oft injured. They don't want to give Josh Jacobs an extended contract. They might trade him away because they tanking for Caleb Williams.
Tank for Caleb, that doesn't have a ring to it.
No,
Tank
it really
for Tua
doesn't.
did, though.
Does Caleb Williams have a nickname?
Caleb.
No. Does he really? Does he or does he not?
I just made one for him. Caleb.
It's his name, though.
It's his nickname. That's what his friends call him.
We got to figure out a nickname for him.
C-Dub. What's his number?
13.
C-Dub.
13.
Just C-Dub.
C-Dub.
C-Will.
C-Dub would work.
C-Will.
But then it makes me think of the CW.
C-Will.
I like C-Will.
How about the CW?
Instead of J-Will.
How about the CW?
The CW.
The CW.
That'll work.
That'll work. That dog will hunt.
Well, on the other side, we got to break down a lot of bets. We got some baseball to get to, plus we have Hardwood because it feels so good. Don't touch the dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Thunder in your ear. You shout and no one seems to hear.
What happens to former real estate agents when they want to sell their homes? This is Sheldon Rosengarten, actually Shell Dunn, with Mark Spensdorf Realtors. I am so proud and feel so honored when former real estate agents contact me when they want to sell their homes. They know that I've been in the business for quite a while, have a great deal of experience, and know that I am good at marketing, not merely putting a sign in the yard and hoping it sells. Over the years, I have developed a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in what you make and when. Talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers, but make sure that I am one of them. So if you or someone you know is thinking about selling a home, remember what other real estate agents who have been in the business do. They call me, Shell Dunn Rosengarten, at 483-0546 or email me at memphisrelocate.com. I will wait to hear from you to take advantage of this good market. That's 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Thank you.
Right now at Wendy's, when you buy either Dave's Single, Spicy Chicken Sandwich, Medium Frosty, or 10-piece nuggets, you can get another for just $1. Your dollar never tasted so good. So it's obvious what everyone will get, right?
Definitely nugs
Spicy
and
chicken
a Frosty.
sandwich,
Dave's Single and a Frosty for me.
and a Frosty.
Okay, who said Frosty and a Frosty? Pick your obvious choice. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's, buy one, get one for $1.
Limited time only. Price of participation may vary. U.S. Wendy's, valid for item of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined in a combo or any other offer.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
WeatherGuard, the name that stands for unmatched security in truck boxes, is now making a name for itself on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series circuit. WeatherGuard is the official sponsor of the safety and security work crews at Speedway Motorsports tracks across the country. Engineered to meet the demands from job sites to race sites, WeatherGuard truck boxes feature double welded seams, weather-tight seals, and high security latches and locks. If it's a job worth doing, it's a job worth WeatherGuard. Learn more at weatherguard.com/truck.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
That is one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Got Jay Morgan hanging out with me. It is a Monday. It's been kind of rainy out there today. Everybody's out there keeping your fingers crossed, hoping like they don't lose power. I feel you, man, with that one. Every time it storms, Jay, do you get scared to lose power?
I don't.
Oh, that's right. You live in Collierville, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Across the street from a fire station, so I'd never really lose power.
So you never lose power, and you never have anything happen to your drinking water, huh? Must be nice.
No, I've never had anything. No issue.
Remember Germantown?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. But that's fixed now, right?
I mean, I don't know. If it was fixed, would you still trust the water? Like, it won't, like, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Like, do you eat the edges of the yellow snow? No. Like, it might be a few inches from the yellow snow.
I don't think I've ever eaten snow.
Oh, well, see, back in the day before it was all nasty, people used to make snow into ice cream. Did you know that?
Is that right?
Have you never done that?
Not in my life. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, man. It was like we would take snow, vanilla, like stir it up. I don't know, man.
What else?
I don't remember now, man. That was like when I was like 7 years old.
Well, nowadays people buy like they have like ice cream machines that you can like buy for personal use at home. You know what I mean? Like these little mixers that make ice cream. You know, homemade ice cream.
Yeah, remember back in the day, man. We had a spoon and a bucket.
Is that what you would do? You would stir it in the bucket?
We would make...
That was your job?
It's the same bucket we took to the beach once a year. You were the bucket
stirrer and then use the bathroom outside in?
Oh, man.
That's what you did in the bucket.
Dude, we got to talk a little bit of baseball.
All right.
I'm going to talk a lot of baseball, actually. And we did talk earlier. You also played the audio. It was a great clip. Tim Anderson getting knocked out by Jose Ramirez. But that's not the only story that's coming out of Chicago. There's
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, yeah, he was a big story back in the day.
Chicago.
Yes, he was a huge story.
Big story.
He was a huge story out. Now, if you paid any attention to the White Sox, they're having a pretty bad year. Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah.
Fourth worst record in baseball, 45-68.
Although just won a series against the Guardians in interdivision rivalry.
Yes. They
lost the fight, but they won the series.
They lost the fight, but they did win the series. That's a great one. But they were traders at the deadline. They got rid of Jake Berger, Lucas Giolito. By the way, did you see Lucas Giolito's first start?
Gio.
Did you see his first start?
He got lit up by the Braves.
He gave up 7 runs in the first two and a third?
That sounds right.
That was the
Braves that lit him up, right? Yeah,
it was the Braves. That's not a good way to start.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, the Angels haven't won a game since they decided to keep Shohei Ohtani and basically now gut their already empty farm system. They haven't won a game.
That's
Since the trade deadline, they have not won a baseball game.
Oh, that's true. Because Because they won one out of those 3 against Atlanta, but that was the end of July, wasn't it?
Yes, homie.
Yeah, end of
the
July.
trade deadline was August 1st.
Yeah.
And they have not won a baseball game. They are 0-6 since the trade deadline.
It's tough.
They literally, and I get it. I got it at that point because they were close. They were fighting for it. But now this team, I mean, like Shohei, is he going to actually stay there? No, man. He's going to be a Dodger. You watch. Speaking of the Dodgers, they had a big one last night. Freddie Freeman was flat out awesome. But, Dedgum, you just got me off of my subject. You know, I've been trying to talk about this White Sox organization. Are you sure?
I was positive.
Oh, I got off because of Lucas Giolito. Sorry. Remember, I'm having random thoughts right now. Apologize. It's 12 o'clock somewhere. Now, the White Sox, Tim Anderson, they did win the series. They lost the fight. But ever since they made a few trades, they got rid of Kendall Graveman, Lance Lynn, Joe Kelly. They also got rid of Kenyon Middleton. A couple of these players have come out there and talked basically about their minor league system and also going all the way up to the big club. And this is a quote from Middleton. He says, "We came up through the minor system with no rules. I don't know how you police a culture if there is no culture and there's no rules or guidelines to follow because everyone's doing their own thing. Like, how do you say anything about it? Because there are no rules. You have rookies sleeping in the bullpen during the game. You have guys missing meetings. You have guys missing PFPs. And there are no consequences for any of this stuff." This is, again, come from multiple sources. It's been collaborated by ESPN, MLB Network, yada, yada. They brought out a bunch of, 5 other players have corroborated this. If you're the White Sox organization, you've already had a bad week with the, losing the fight. Tim Anderson, bad weekend. But, I mean, what does that say about your organization? I guess you can't blame everything on Tony La Russa like we did last season.
Yeah, maybe it starts at the beginning, or it starts way before that. Like you said, culture is important.
How can you have a minor league system where, like, the young kids are missing PFPs, not coming to meetings, sleeping in the bullpen? Like, that just doesn't even sound realistic.
No, that really is crazy. That's remarkable.
So, again, GM Rick Hahn, that man is he's not getting his job done, and he's got to get that organization from the top all the way down, I guess. Because when you got rookies coming up there and they're you don't even know what you're doing, it's absolutely crazy. Now, talking a little bit more baseball, White Sox are absolutely horrible. But what happened to the Braves this weekend against the mighty Cubs, who have now fought and clawed their way back up to 1.5 games?
Cubs won 6 straight series. They might just be good, man.
Did you know that they last, 27 games? I think I looked. Did you know that they were leading all of baseball in hitting?
Yeah, no, I believe it. They scored the most runs. They scored 20 runs over like a 2-game span at the beginning of August too. So I believe it, and they've won 6 straight series. The bats are certainly awake in Chicago, and I'll tell you what. I guess we're going to go through more of the games in a minute, but they play the Mets play the Cubs play the Mets today in New York. You were talking about teams that haven't won since the trade deadline. The Mets have not won a game since the trade deadline either. They have been absolutely terrible. They were swept by the Orioles, which you got to respect. That was in Baltimore. They were also swept by Kansas City.
Did you see Sunday's game though?
Yeah, that was not a respectable game at all.
The Mets, did you know they had bases loaded in the first 5 innings 3 times?
Couldn't score a run. Sounded like the Marlins.
And they could not score a run. Twice, though, Pete Alonso hit into a double play.
I thought for sure the odds would be against the Mets today, like towards the Cubs, because of how bad the Mets have been. But because Kodai Senga's on the mound and Drew Smyly's given up some runs his last couple outings, and he had a really bad outing on the 2nd of August. That was against I can't remember who that was against. Regardless, the Cubs are underdogs today in the first 5 innings and in the game. I got them plus 110 in the first 5 innings and plus 102 for the game. I'll ride with the Cubs losing. Like, I went into looking at these odds after looking at all the stats and everything and go, well, looks like it's just a day I'm going to have to hold my nose and take the Mets. And then I look at the odds, and the Cubs are underdogs, and I'm like, oh, well, then never mind then. I'm taking the Cubs. If they're going to give me plus money on the Cubs, I don't have to hold my nose and do anything. I'll just bet on the Mets continuing to be bad. Do you have any faith that the Mets did that on the road and they'll be better at home? No, they're totally demoralized, right?
This Mets team is not just demoralized. It's almost like they quit. I mean, Pete Alonso is Horrible. I mean, you got.
So what's being at home going to do? Nothing,
Pete
right?
Alonso,
It's not going to do anything.
The polar bear, Francisco Lindor's not doing anything except for collecting some walks here and there. It is ugly.
But does it give you any pause if you were going to bet on the Cubs today that the Mets can turn it around being back at home? Because all of those losses were on the road.
So they're going to get booed in front of their own fans.
I agree. I think so, too.
I mean, that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you that right now. And also, Dansby Swanson this weekend, the Cubs hosted his former team, remember?
Oh, yeah, he used to play for the Braves, John.
Yeah, he was a big part of that team last year.
Sure
big part of that team. He was a big
last
leader.
Few years.
But I thought he was absolutely hilarious. Did you any chance to see his post-game interview yesterday?
I did not.
All right. Well, first and foremost, Dansby won the weekend. His team took the series. He knocked in a pair of runs in each of the Cubs' wins on Saturday and Sunday. And then when he was talking about his former team, and they asked him about playing his former team. Remember when Freddie Freeman was back in Atlanta?
I do.
And he literally shed more tears than an audience at Old Yeller.
Yeah.
Dude was just boo-hooing. Remember that?
I do.
Crying like you and Dacus do.
That's right.
Well, he said to the reporter, Mallory, who's his wife, Mallory already said if I cry like but I'll just say it because I can say it. Mallory said if I cry like a bitch, I'm sleeping on the couch for a week.
That's funny.
Man, dude, that's a shot at the man Freddie Freeman, is it not?
It must be.
Like, I mean, I'm sure it's probably just a little ribbing, but that was a pretty funny shot.
Yeah, I think they're probably buddies, though.
Yeah, but dude, he's like, dude, if I his wife's funny. Did you think his wife really said that?
Yeah, if he said she did, she probably did, right?
I don't know. I think that's just kind of one of those zingers that you kind of put off to.
Zing, got him.
A little zing, zing, zang.
That's great.
Now, speaking of Freddie Freeman, I wanted to ask you this question.
We got a Dodgers Day game today.
Yes, we do. And Freddie Freeman had a 10-pitch at bat last night when he left the yard. One of the best camera angles from the umpire I've seen. It was awesome.
It's going around everywhere.
It's going around everywhere. It's awesome. Do you know since 2020, Freddie Freeman, when it comes to batting, is second in average at 322, second in on-base percentage at 411, sixth in slugging, fifth in wins above replacement, and he is first in WAR. No, I'm sorry, he's first in WAR and WRC. What is WRC?
Wins above replacement, right?
No, that's WAR.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What's WRC plus? I don't even know what that is. He's fifth, but he's first in WAR.
Weighted runs created plus.
Thank you. Weighted runs created plus. He's
100
fifth.
is league average. All the plus ones.
He's
100 is
157.
Wow, so he's 57% above the league average in WRC.
He's first in WAR, and he doesn't pitch, by the way.
That's right.
Freddie Freeman since
he only
2020.
has to do one side of the baseball game to get that big WAR.
Yeah, and it's amazing, honestly, though, when you think of it, he's actually a 5-tool player. This is a guy who plays.
Flashes great leather.
He's a great base runner. People don't realize how good of a base runner
I've
is.
also never seen
Flashes
a ball in
great
the dirt.
leather.
That ball in the dirt thrown to him never gets by him.
Never gets by him.
Never seen it once.
Most professional hitter you'll ever see. He does not strike out. His goal every year is to have under 100 strikeouts. He gets that goal. Last year he had 103, and he was ticked off about it. I'm just saying, Freddie Freeman does everything right.
Well, how about this, John? They're playing the Dodgers today. I mean, the Dodgers are playing the Padres today in sunny San Diego at 3:10 on MLB Network. How about that? And like you said, the big home run from Freddie Freeman. The Dodgers win last night. They now lead the series 2-1. And today you get a matchup of all time: Tony Gonsolin and Seth Lugo. What do you think about that?
Gondolin's been struggling.
Really
Trust
has.
me, I know.
Only one start in August on the 2nd. He pitched against Oakland and gave up, in 5 innings, he gave up 5 hits and a run against Oakland. Yikes. He had a 6.39 in July. I say he gives up 3 or more runs today. But Seth Lugo with a 3.45 in July, where he hasn't given up more than 2 runs in his last 5 outings in the first 5 innings, John. All those teams stink compared to the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers are in a totally different stratosphere from the teams Lugo's been playing. There's going to be runs and runs today, I think.
It's only 9.5. How is this possible?
Well, here's what I did. I
know Petco Park is big, but these are boppers, bro.
I took the Padres' first 5 team total over 2.5 at even money. I took the Dodgers' first 5 team total over 2.5 at plus 120. And then to hedge that, I took the first 5 under 4.5 at plus 115. I only got to hit 2 of those 3, and I think that's doable. One team ain't going to get to 5 by themselves, and I think both teams can score over 3 or 3 or more otherwise. And then I have the Dodgers on the money line plus 120, the first 5 innings. I even though Gonsolin's been struggling, John, I'm really willing to take the Dodgers here. A lot of people are buying in on the Padres right now, and I feel like that's a good time for them to disappoint you. Dodgers win today.
I like that. Plus money, too.
No, plus 120, brother.
I mean, I like that. Again, I just talked about how great Freddie Freeman is.
Exactly.
I haven't mentioned, by the way, we've talked about a little bit about the NL MVP this year, and we talked about how Ronald
Just
Acuna,
send it to him now.
He's batting .342. He's got 66 RBIs, 56 stolen bases. His OPS is 1.010. He's already got 25 bombs. The dude's just tearing life up. But don't forget about Mookie Betts. My man's also stealing bases. He's got 29 bombs, 70 RBIs, batting .290, OPS at .964, and again, one of the best outfielders. Comes in and plays second base. Hell, I'll play shortstop if you need me to. I mean, this guy will do whatever you do. Like, you need him to do. Mookie Betts has got to be in the conversation as well. Freddie Freeman's got to be in the conversation, and Matt Olson. How weird is it that the 4 people that I think of for the NL MVP, 2 from Atlanta, 2 from the Dodgers?
That is crazy.
Is that not nuts? And I mean, Matt Olson, by the way.
But also not. Those are the 2 best teams in the
he's got
league.
40. Yeah, but they're putting up also the best numbers. Like, I mean, Freddie Freeman is having a hell of a year. Mookie Betts is having a hell of a year. But Matt Olson is having a career year. Like, my man's got more RBIs. Like, dude, I'm telling you. I mean, I read a funny joke, and I cannot remember it. And it had to do with Matt Olson.
I like it, though. He strikes out a lot, John.
Oh, I wish I could remember it. It drives me crazy.
But that's funny. It sounds like it would be funny.
What gives you the runs?
What?
I don't know. No, I'm asking you literally because, like, Matt Olson is knocking it, is giving people never mind. It was a funny joke.
I get it. Like a diarrhea joke.
It was so
Taco
funny.
Bell.
No,
that's something that stereotypically will give you the runs.
It was really funny. I don't know if I heard it on MLB Network or I read it, but I know it's in my brain, but I can't get it out, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm struggling. It's a Monday.
He puts a quarter in the merry-go-round.
He puts a quarter in the merry-go-round?
Yeah.
We'll find out. I'm not sure about that.
How about this one, John? You want another game?
Sure, give it to me.
All right, we got some games at 5:43 of them. Twins, Tigers, Nationals, Phillies, Marlins, Reds. Which one you want me to talk about?
Say that again.
3 games at 5:40.
Marlins and Reds. I want to ask you something real quick.
So that one.
Well, I just want to ask you. Reds have been absolutely terrible.
So
How would you handicap this game? And the Marlins have also lost 4 straight. Mm-hmm. The Reds have lost 6 straight. Mm-hmm. Like I'm scared to death to touch that game.
Agreed, John. But I did it this way. You asked how I handicapped? I did it this way. Marlins, first of all, best average versus left-handed hitters this year. I have a question for you, John. Do we care about righty-lefty splits for the whole season at this point?
Yes.
It's too late in the year, man. It's August. Like, I'm starting to care less and less with every passing day. Because what is that indicative of? Them hitting a lefty well in April. You know what I mean? Like, at this point in the season, I feel like too much time has passed for that sample size to exist. I feel like I'm caring less and less. But nonetheless, it's still stated Marlins have the best average against lefties. The Reds had the 3rd most strikeouts in August. Yuri Perez is coming off a tough game at Atlanta where he got lit up. But his last game against St. Louis, he went 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. I think he shoves today. And I'm going over 6.5 strikeouts.
You're going to lay Marlins minus 60?
No.
Oh.
I'm going Yuri Perez over 6.5 strikeouts plus 128 on FanDuel. The Reds, like I said, the Reds have the 3rd most strikeouts in August, and Yuri Perez can strike guys out. I got a feeling he might today. I also like a Nerfy at plus 110. The reason why that's plus money is because the weather says the wind's blowing out today. I don't really care. I've watched these 2 teams be unable to score runs for the past week and a half. I think it continues today. So I'm going Yuri Perez over 6.5 strikeouts, a Nerfy, under 5 runs in the first 5 innings, and I'll go Marlins team total under 2.5 runs as well at plus 120. Brandon Williamson's on the mound for the Reds, and while he really hasn't been good, I'm willing to bet the Marlins, like we said a minute ago, they have a really bad average against lefties. I mean, they have the best average against lefties, but they have a really bad average this month, and I'm going to play that trend over the hitting against left-handed pitchers.
By the way, since we're talking about betting, I have to bring up a story, and you mentioned FanDuel. That's why I was going to say something.
Okay.
Because did you hear about what BetMGM did over the weekend?
No.
I'm very upset because I'm a big BetMGM guy. They've been very kind to me, like them, love going down and hanging out in their suite during the Grizzlies game.
Very cool.
Very, very nice stuff. Tickets to things, you know what I'm saying? Very, very friendly.
Oh, yeah.
But, bro, they did something that I gotta bring some attention to this,
okay.
Man. So there is a teacher in Fairfax County, and that's Virginia, by the way.
Of course, yes, no, yeah.
Just making sure you know.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Fairfax County, Virginia, who placed a bet. The wager was $3,000, okay?
Okay.
Now, I have to say something. This teacher must be making more than most teachers because teachers are always complaining how much they get paid.
Or maybe she's betting outside of her means.
You think? Well, no.
Or he.
It's actually. By the way, that's sexist, Jay.
Why is that?
All right. The person's name is Chris. Is it a boy or a girl?
That could be either man or I know women Chris and men Chris.
I know. Kris Jenner is a woman.
Yeah.
Chris Crawford was a man.
That's right. He still is.
Still is. I mean, you know you can change now. All you have to do is feel.
Mm-hmm.
But this Chris Benson, who's a teacher, again, a teacher, he bet $3,000 on the Women's World Cup. He bet on the Netherlands versus Vietnam. And then
the Vietnamese.
And then he had like another, game. He had a 3-game parlay. Now, the odds were supposed to be 66-1.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow they said the app said that he won $214,500. So my man Chris Benson, it ain't his fault. He placed the bet. It showed the odds. And it said that he's risking $3,000 to win $214,500.
Of course.
He wins the parlay.
Right.
Chris Benson is freaking out, okay? And you know what? He might be betting more than his means because, listen, this is also where it kind of caught me too. So my man wins. He's talking with his wife about how they're going to spend their money. They're freaking the bleep out. Oh, my gosh, we just won $214,000. You know how sweet she's being to her husband?
I would direct him to the great Kenny Rogers when you're counting your money while a bet is still alive. Just saying.
No, it's not alive.
Oh, you're saying it's over.
It's won.
But they don't have their money.
Hold on. They go and he withdraws $100,000. It comes up and says, we have just withdrawn $100,000 out of your account. We will process it in the next 30 minutes. You know, it does this little thing.
Right, sure, yeah.
So my man is like 30 minutes away from getting $100K, and he's still got $114K, $500 chilling in his account. Might be a big gambler, you know what I'm saying? Actually, $100,000 is the largest you can withdraw per day.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, he took out a whole hundy.
Okay.
He's got 114 in there.
Okay.
An hour goes by, nothing. 2 hours go by. He's out on the town with his wife spending money that they don't have, by the way. They are now eating crab legs, like lobster tails, steak. They're drinking.
Okay.
They're partying.
Yeah, no, got it.
They're staying in a big hotel.
No, we understand. Yeah.
They're doing their thing.
They're spending money.
They're spending money like it's water. And then my man's just kind of like, now he's, had his cheesecake, his little dessert. He's laying in the bed with his wife. He looks over and he's like, you want to look at the money? Yeah, baby, I do. He pulls up his phone. There's a notification. Hadn't been processed, but he notices that there's a notification from BetMGM, and they sent him an email. He opens it up. And BetMGM, this is where things get bad. They sent him an email, and it says that they made a mistake and that they're very, very sorry. It says it's extremely, extremely rare for this to happen. It doesn't happen often, but we made a mistake, and there was a large odd swing. Therefore, the wager has been canceled. Sorry to inconvenience you. We have offered you a $100 bonus bet due to the inconvenience.
So they shouldn't have been 66-1.
It should have been 66-1, not 166-1.
I see.
But if he didn't pay him the 66-1, you would think, right?
Yeah, or at least give him his money back, which is probably what they did.
Well, they came out and this guy said, well, the reason we didn't pay it 66-1, even though they came out and said it was, they said, you know, mistakes happen, blah, 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 and it's their policy that when they have to correct something, that the wager be voided.
Tough.
And they even put in there how, like, the spokesperson for BetMGM, poor guy, this guy named Nick Lavera, he had to come out there and say, like, try to paint a positive picture because the media, of course, wanted to talk to him. And I'm sorry, every BS thing that came out of his mouth is just terrible.
Dang. Too bad.
Is that the worst story you've ever heard in your life?
That's tough, man.
If you won $214,000, you're out celebrating. The wager has been won. You've withdrawn money. It says it's coming to you, and then all of a sudden, no.
Yeah, it's tough.
You seem like you really don't even care about this poor Chris Benson, the poor teacher who went out there and probably spent like $5,000.
I mean, I feel bad for him. That stinks. But he knew what he was doing was felonious. If you took 166-1 odds on something that you knew.
No, he doesn't know if it's supposed to be. He's not the odds maker. He really thought they were supposed to be the odds. But them coming back and saying, I'm sorry, what's supposed to be 166-1? It's supposed to be 66-1. Dude, he pushed the button on the 3-team parlay.
Right.
It took his money. I got a question for you. If one of those teams lost, do you think he would have gotten his $3,000 back?
No.
That's why this is BS.
But, well, maybe.
The only reason this got caught is because he won the bet.
Money, yeah.
And they come back and go, whoa, it should have been 66-1.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Oh, my gosh, my machine messed up.
Yeah.
That's some BS, bro.
Yeah.
He was sweating those 3 games.
Yeah.
This dude, like, spent 4 days of his life watching women's soccer.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Now, I'd watch the Swedish women play anytime they're on the pitch. I'm rooting for them to win. Since they beat the United States, I'm going for them. You know what I mean? The team that beat us, kind of root for them going forward.
Sure.
But on the other side, we got Hardwood because it feels so good. But I did have to tell you a little something, man. Central Barbecue. It's lunchtime. Everybody out there's hungry. You need a little smoke in your life. And Central Barbecue, man, smoke is their flavor. Their ribs, their pulled chicken, their smoked turkey, their wings, their barbecue, nachos, turnip greens, mac and cheese. I love everything at Central Barbecue. And no matter where you're at, and it's not just now here in Memphis. You can be in North Mississippi. They got you covered over at Silo Square. They got you downtown, Central, Summer, out east in Poplar. Central Barbecue is the best barbecue in the world. And remember when I told you the story about artificial intelligence and how ChatGPT ranked all the barbecue places in the world? Who came out number 1? Even the robots know that Central Barbecue is the best. Go to eatcbq.com and check out their barbecue. Central Barbecue, get 5 great locations. Smoke is their sauce. Hardwood's on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
For over 8 decades, America's farmers have counted on the Little Red Tractor from Case IH, the Farmall, to help them make short work of their demanding chores. Well, Mid-South Ag can show you they aren't just for farms anymore. With horsepower ranging from 30 to 105, plus an army of attachments, they can tackle every chore on your to-do list, from hauling and mowing to loading and towing and then some. Stop by Mid-South Ag Equipment or call 662-890-3141 to find a Case IH Farmall that's right for you.
Attention, everyone. Family Leisure needs your help clearing out their inventory. Let me say that again. Family Leisure is needing your help to clear out their inventory. And to do so, there are tons of great deals throughout the store. For example, all do-it-yourself pools are $1,000 off. Special 24-foot round pools for less than $2,000. Select play gyms, only $18.99. Hey, if you need patio furniture, they have patio furniture that's now up to 30% off. Spas are in stock. They're up to $1,200 off. Now listen up, because I'm only going to say this once. 24 months, same as cash financing, is now available through this sale. Family Leisure needs your help clearing out their inventory, so come and do your part at Family Leisure. Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun come together.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli, with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
A new era in public safety begins with you. Be the change you want to see. Join us for the Memphis Police Department Hiring Expo, Saturday, August 26, 2023, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 170 North Main Street downtown. We'll be taking applications, performing basic testing, and interviewing candidates on site. Free parking will be located at Poplar Avenue and Front Street. Salary starting at $60,700. Benefits include a $15,000 sign-on bonus, up to $10,000 relocation assistance. For more information or details, visit joinmpd.com.
4.9-liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's hanging out with us. Big thanks earlier to Jake Crane and Terry Davis who joined us. We talked a little Tiger football, Tiger basketball. Jake Crane talked about how Pac-12 is dissolving before our eyes. Of course, you know last Friday. We were talking about it last Friday. Oregon and Washington, they're going to the Big Ten. See you bye. Arizona State, Utah, they're headed to the Big 12. Right now, all you have left for 2024 is Stanford, Oregon State, Washington State, and Cal. A conference that's been around since 1915, dissolving in front of us. And this is going to be a great swan song because, again, they got a very good Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr., Washington, Utah, USC, all three going to be pretty good this year. But, yeah, they are dying in front of all of our eyes. And it's just crazy how good Brett Yormark's done. I thought a year and a half ago that the Big 12 was the one that was about to dissolve when Texas and Oklahoma left for the SEC. Everybody thought, oh my goodness, Big 12 is going to dissolve and pass away. Not happening. But now it is time to talk a little bit of fun. And when I think of fun, I also think of Tito's. Tito's. Oh my goodness, man. The best spirit around. 3-time champ of the Vodka Tonic of the Year. It's crafted and distilled right here in the United States, down in Austin, Texas. And it's crafted to be, savored responsibly and to be smooth. It's got a very unique flavor, 6 times distilled, 100% gluten-free, also stilled in classic copper pots that give it a very unique flavor, slightly sweet with a black pepper note. It balances everything out, whether you're crafting a cocktail or you're drinking it neat. Get your Tito's on today. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
I got good stories. I got bad stories. I got crazy stories. Everything's out there. First, though, you know what happened this morning?
What?
I woke up this morning. I was looking for my Twitter. And you know how it used to be a little blue bird?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for this little blue bird. And I'm looking for this little blue bird. And I scrolled and I scrolled. And it took me like 10 minutes. You know why? The bird's gone. Did you know that?
I did.
I found out I'm an X, man. So my Twitter is X.
Everyone's it.
But it just happened today.
Probably just did your phone update automatically or something like that?
I don't know, man. My phone's smarter than I am.
It has to update automatically because you clearly didn't update it, so it had to just do it automatically. Maybe just wait until today to do it for some reason.
Oh, so this isn't a whole global thing?
No. A lot of people's, like mine's been X for a week or so.
Oh, well, thanks a lot for stealing my thunder. But speaking of X, and do you know what Threads is?
Yeah. That's the thing that Mark Zuckerberg started. We talked about that.
I know. I'm just saying I was making sure.
Mm-hmm.
But Threads, I'm not on Threads. I don't know about Threads. And I guess that's because I'm Team
Musk.
Team Musk. That sounds gross.
Team Elon.
I'm Team Elon, yeah. Musk sound Team Musk. No, you don't want to be musky. But man, they're talking about fighting for real. Mark Zuckerberg came out and said, like, he's ready to fight today. Elon Musk said he'll fight him tomorrow as long as they stream it on X. Zuckerberg came back and said, nah, we're going to stream it on Threads. Are they going to use their little social media platforms as a reason for these two dudes not to fight?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, how about we stream it on both
falling
of
off,
them?
though, I think.
Can we just stream it on both so we can see them fight?
Why not?
I mean, if you're going to fight, let's do this. Quit talking about it. They keep putting out these pictures of themselves training and stuff. It's getting a little out of hand.
That's how you sell a fight, John.
Yeah, that is true. But, man, I think Musk is going to beat the brakes off of little Zuckerberg. I mean, he's 5'7", $140. He's going to get worked. I don't care if Elon's 51 years old. Now,
Zuck took out two people, though, that both were college rowers.
What do you mean he took him out?
The Winklevoss twins. He took them out.
The
so you think he's scared of one 50-year-old Musk? He took out two collegiate rowers.
That is a great...
Those guys are giants. They have to be. They're collegiate rowers.
Great.
So he's not scared of little Musk. Little Elon. Please.
Oh, man. That makes tons of sense.
Fake hair Elon.
Now, people, I'm going to give you the... I like this. I like the Zuckerberg Elon thing fighting. I love the fact that you said that he took out the
Winklevosses.
The Winklevosses. I saw, what is it called? MySpace?
No, you're talking about the social network.
The social network.
Aaron Sorkin.
What was
famously
MySpace?
likes to write
MySpace
while
was before
doing
Facebook.
Cocaine.
He does a lot of what?
Aaron Sorkin famously, he's gotten in trouble for it too. He likes to write while doing copious amounts of cocaine. So he sits in a room. You know, a lot of shows or movies are written by I'll say shows. Are written by like a team of writers, people sitting around a table and they storyboard these ideas and are pitching jokes and stuff like that. Aaron Sorkin famously locks himself in like a room, a hotel room maybe, alone with cocaine and just writes story and dialogue all together at once. So his movies and shows are crazy. They're all like fast-paced and everyone's talking at 1,000 miles an hour and moving fast. It's insane. And he directed and wrote The Social Network.
You know who else wrote when they did copious amounts of coke?
William Shakespeare.
Well, I don't know about that.
I don't know if that's true.
No, I'm talking about Gonzo.
Gonzo from the Muppets?
The journalist, Gonzo.
Oh, okay.
I just read the book about him. This is gonna make me, man. I think right now I'm going through maybe something.
That's okay. You just leave it there and go to another story.
You saw the movie, I'm sure, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp played what character? Gonzo is his nickname. Mm-hmm. I can't move on until we figure this out.
You can't?
No, I won't be able to.
Sounds like some kind of mental disorder.
I have a mental disorder, obviously.
Raul Duke. No. Gonzo is Benicio del Toro.
Never mind, bro. Never mind. Don't.
What do you mean? That's a fact. I'm reading it to you. Raul Duke is Johnny Depp. Gonzo is Benicio del Toro.
Hunter S. Thompson. It just finally popped in my head.
Hunter S. Thompson wrote it.
He wrote what?
He wrote Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
No, he lived it.
Oh.
And he wrote the book, yes. He wrote the book. But I'm saying, never mind. The book is, what I'm talking about is the movie is a portray of his life. Him and his, never mind.
Gary Busey.
I'm getting back on the tracks, y'all. I'm very sorry. Bring up some dude writing on Yayo, and I couldn't think of Hunter S. Thompson, and it's going to drive me crazy. But now I have a very sweet story for you. This is like one of the nicest things I've ever seen in my life. Eastern Michigan, their captain of their football team, a senior named Brian Dooley, started 45 games during his career. He's still there. Of course, it's his senior year. Well, for the last 4 years, there's been this guy named Zach Connie. He's made it into a few of the games. He hadn't started any, but he's played in 23 games. He's a walk-on. It's his senior year as well. There's only 85 scholarships. The coach basically was talking with him one day and basically saying, I'm sorry, Connie. I'm only giving 85 scholarships. I would love to give you, I wish I had 86 scholarships. I just don't have them. And my poor guy, Zach Connie's heart was broken.
I've seen this movie.
This is a true story, though. And he didn't get,
The movie is a true story, too. Coach, it's me, Rudy.
This isn't Rudy. This is not Rudy. This is real life. And Brian Dooley is a hero. But Zach Connie, my man, doesn't come from really, well means.
Not well off.
Having to donate plasma in the off season to help pay his rent, working 2 jobs, also going to school, going to football practice, never complaining about anything, putting in extra work with also the captain, Brian Dooley, after practice. And it's his senior year, and when he didn't earn a scholarship, he basically told coach, well, man, I guess that's the end of my run. I can't afford another season and afford school. I don't have the money. Every penny I've had, I put into this, and my whole, goal was to eventually I thought I would get one by a junior.
Get a scholarship.
I didn't. I just needed a scholarship so I could play my last year. Well, the captain of their football team, Brian Dooley, found out about that, went up to his coach, talked to his parents, he said before, went up to his coach and gave his scholarship to Zach Conti so he could play his senior year.
Like Rudy. Everyone laid down their scholarships.
No, they laid down their jersey, bro.
I know, but in this scenario, everyone laid down their scholarship.
No, only one dude stepped up.
Only one
and it was
guy
the captain of their football team. I'm betting on Eastern Michigan all year. This is a tight-knit group of guys.
Isn't there a lot of, stories around that Rudy was, total BS, too? A bunch of people on that team.
Man, will you quit trying to, seriously, you're trying to piss on something that's sweet. I don't know if Old Yellers is real, but I cry every time I see it.
But don't you think, haven't you heard the stories of Rudy's teammates?
I don't know if you know this Barbie is not real, but everybody's going to see the movie.
But Rudy's teammates have come out and said, nah, man, he wasn't like that. We didn't. He was all right.
They said he was actually better than the little...
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they were he wasn't that bad. They make him out to be the worst football player in the history of the world when he actually could hold his own.
The fact that he could stay around at Notre Dame on the football team,
but
he had a certain level of talent.
But they put that little dude who's plays the Hobbit as
that's
his football
literally
player.
What he was.
Is that really?
Hobbit,
I was taking a shot at him, I thought.
That's what he was.
I saw that dude play character in Jack Bauer, too, and he was a little annoying guy.
Sean Astin.
He has his character that he played in that show. Have you ever heard of Little Man Syndrome?
Yeah.
He definitely had it
Rudy
in that
had
show.
Little Man Syndrome. Maybe.
Yeah. No, Rudy was tough.
Sure was.
But
Sean Astin was Samwise in Lord of the Rings. He was a Hobbit. Samwise Gamgee.
Well, dude, play
Coach,
your part.
It's me, Rudy. Put me in.
You're a goofball. Now, that was the sweet story I have. Now, if you are eating lunch and have a weak stomach, I hate to say this.
It's a good thing your show isn't on at lunchtime, John.
Well, this is just, listen.
It is 12:45, too, so if you want to maybe avoid a story that's going to make people hurl their lunch up,
this is important for people to know.
Okay, all right, hey, it's your world, John, your show.
All right, do you know what a triathlon is?
I do know what a triathlon is, John. You bike, you swim, you bike, and you run.
Correct. It's actually, in this event, yeah, it is exactly what you do. You swim, you bike, then you run. Well, this is horrible because the organizers of the World Triathlon Champions, okay, this is in Sutherland, UK. Like the best triathletes in the world are here, okay?
British accent?
No. In the UK, what do they say? Hello, governor.
Think you blind us?
Thomas Shelby would. I love that dude. Thomas Shelby's no joke. He also plays Oppenheimer.
In Oppenheimer.
Yeah, in Oppenheimer. I don't know what his real name is, but he's a good actor. Back to this.
It's Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy.
He's Irish.
Did you know he doesn't smoke in real life?
Yeah, that's right. He actually was like lamenting how many fake cigarettes he had to smoke. He's like, there's no way that stuff.
In Oppenheimer, all he does is smoke cigarettes, and in Peaky Blinders, all he does is like kill people and smoke cigarettes.
That's right.
And if you haven't seen Peaky Blinders, you need to go watch it. It's very good. Now back to this triathlon. Again, it's the world champions. Okay. Well. The 57 athletes jump into the pool to swim 10 miles. They get out of the pool and they get onto their bikes. And guess what happens? All 57 athletes became sick with E. coli. They had, as it was reported in the UK little paper.
Is that what its official name is?
I'm looking for it and I don't see it.
Daily Mail, isn't that a British publication?
Isn't that the one that Ghislaine Maxwell's daddy owned?
I think the Daily Mail is like the New York Post, kind of like, like gossip column.
I love the New York Post.
Oh, the National Enquirer maybe is what it's closer to then.
What are you trying to say about the New York Post?
Well, they both do sensationalism. Kind of.
I get a lot of my stories from the Post.
Well, they have good stories that are great fodder. Anyway, E. coli for triathletes.
Well, all of a sudden they're riding their bikes, and all of a sudden 57 they start explosive diarrhea.
Yeah, I said it nicer.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. And let me just tell you something. Could you imagine 57 athletes riding their bicycles, all of them, like sick as a dog? Like, I don't understand. And here's what happened. This is so bad.
The Cubs got more runs than a bunch of triathletes with E. coli.
That was really good. So here's what happened.
That's the joke you were looking for earlier.
That was it. So the E. coli levels, the way they're measured, it's not supposed to have like 1 part per 100 milliliters. Because if it's got 1 part every 100 milliliters, that's bad water, okay? This had 3,900 parts per 100 milliliter.
Wow.
They were literally swimming in mass sewage.
That's terrible.
That is so disgusting. Taking a quick time out, back into Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch has an offer you can't refuse. They will pay you to do business with them if you want luxury. And I'm talking the Genesis G70 car. If you would love to have that kind of new technology, they will give you a $1,000 rebate when you finance with Genesis Motor Finance. In other words, they'll pay you $1,000 to do business with them, and you get brand new luxury. You can't beat it. That's Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis, right at the corner of Craft Road and Highway 78 in Olive Branch. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch, where customer retention is amazing. There's a reason. They take care of you with a team that's been together for a long time. Whether it's finance or whether it's service, you can't beat them. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis.
The FedEx Cup playoffs start in Memphis at the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Come out to TPC Southwind August 9th through the 13th and watch the PGA Tour's top players battle to make it through Memphis. Enjoy Memphis at its finest with specialty cocktails, local eats, a vibrant atmosphere, and much more. 2 kids 15 and under admitted free with a ticketed adult. Daily grounds and upgraded tickets are available now at FedExChampionship.com.
Response to the all-new Genesis Diamonds has been incredible. People are loving what we've brought to Memphis. Genesis is a different kind of jewelry store with more jewelry than you've ever seen in one place at prices you never thought possible. The selection at Genesis is mind-blowing. Up to 30 times what you'd find at ordinary stores, including one of the largest selections of certified diamonds in the United States. From a half carat to 20 carats, rounds, princess cuts, ovals, cushion cuts, emerald cuts, both natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds. Plus, Genesis has brought a new level of quality to Memphis with exquisite handcrafted designer jewelry you won't find anywhere else. From names like Tacori, Verragio, Simon G, Kirk Cara, and dozens more from New York and California. And don't miss our stunning selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Discover the Genesis difference, forever changing how people in Memphis buy diamonds and fine jewelry. Now open at Poplar and Perkins, the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans.
I'm Sean Sewer with XMC Technologies, your local source for the best in office technology for over 30 years. We believe that being a technology partner means meeting our clients' needs as they change over time. That's why I'm happy to share that we are now Visual Edge IT. As cyber attacks continue to be a growing threat, our customers are asking for more cybersecurity and ransomware protection. For more information on how to protect your office, visit us at visualedgeit.com or call us locally 901-737-8910.
Your next success begins with University of Maryland Global Campus, an accredited state university for more than 75 years. UMGC has been giving working adults the affordable, online education you need to reach the future you want. Because the path to success is different for everyone, we offer more than 125 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, along with success coaches and lifetime career services. Our online and hybrid courses let you learn on your schedule. No-cost digital materials in place of most textbooks, affordable tuition, and financial resources make UMGC accessible. You know what it feels like to succeed. We'll help you succeed again. Too late isn't in your vocabulary. Reach your next goal at University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply now and save with no application fee. Undergraduate and most graduate courses start August 16th. Learn more at umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
Memphis is unsafe at any speed. A new study from Consumer Affairs ranks Memphis #1 for the worst drivers in the country. Memphis drivers cause more fatal crashes than any other city. But you can do something about this. Pray for Memphis. Pray for youth to use common sense to adopt better driving habits. Pray for law enforcement to adopt better methods of reducing speeding. And pray for all citizens to recognize the problem and make safe changes. Find out more. Contact communityprayerleague@gmail.com and pray.
But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio.
Did your computer die?
Of course. Man, I never have a computer.
Because now I'm just looking at myself. And now if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, any of these places, you can see my beautiful face, but you don't get to see John's anymore.
Man, that's hard on the people. I'm sorry, peeps. I'm sorry. Actually, it's probably a little bit easier for you.
I look good today.
You do?
I think. I don't know.
Man, well, I think you actually don't look too terrible.
Thanks, John.
Now, I'm hoping your bets are flying like straight, strong, you're ready.
Well, we've already done Dodgers, Padres, did a little Marlins, Reds. How about this one? Braves and Pirates is kind of hard to find.
Dude, I ain't
here.
laying 305.
Exactly, yeah. There's no, I'm trying not to overthink it. I'm just finding plus money on the Braves, and I found 2 plus money bets that I think are in favor of the Braves here. How about Spencer Strider over 9.5 strikeouts, plus 105? The Pirates have the 4th most strikeouts in August, I believe. And also Spencer Strider over 18.5 outs. All he's got to do is get 1 out in the 6th inning for that to hit. I think he does it today. The Pirates stink, John. They're skidding. I'm trying not to overthink this one. I'm just taking who I know is good.
One other little note, since I've only got about a minute, I was going to mention. We talked earlier about the Orioles, how they're just destroying things. Is Felix Bautista... Is he having a good enough year to we can actually once in a while talk about a Cy Young being a closer and not just a starter. He's averaging 18 strikeouts per 9.
And honestly, he saves so many games. It's him and the
He's
bats.
He's got 30 saves.
It's him and the bats, though, but he has been consistent.
Opponents are batting 130 against him. His ERA is 0.85. He is just dealing. I don't know, man.
Whereas you got their starters have like 11, 12 wins with like 6 ERAs.
I mean, the AL Cy Young, Garrett Cole, Framber Valdez, Gausman. I don't know, man. Maybe this is the year. Maybe not. Who knows? I hope everybody has a wonderful Monday. I hope when the storms are all over that you go home and you have power. For Jay Morgan, I'm John Harden. Y'all get out there and make the world a better place. We're going to see you on the flip side. Peace.